Bonjour, Star Music. I'm Jeff from Parkway Drive. Let's go.
So far?
So far the tour has been amazing. We did leg one, predominantly of being all different kinds of areas of Europe. On the back end of that, we also played Paris, which is super crazy. That was probably one of the loudest shows of the tour, and we're here in Lyon tonight, so looking forward to see how everyone is tonight. We were here, apparently I just did a signing just then, and there was a bunch of people saying they saw us. They've seen us a few times, and Luke and I, the other guitarist, we actually didn't know it, so we couldn't remember because we've played so many different places.
How was the signing session today?
Yeah, that was crazy. Everyone was, really excited to talk to us and, tell us their stories, and we signed a whole bunch of guitars. Yeah, it was super fun. When we first hit the road, we noticed that if we didn't have good quality guitars, they'd fall apart. The hardware would just, wear through straight away, snapping strings, breaking things. It was a nightmare. And we noticed a lot of the bands that we looked up to back then played ESP guitars, and we obviously knew about ESP guitars, of course. All our heroes played them, Metallica and all them, they all played them. So yeah, we started playing the guitars, and they were incredible. They could withstand the touring environment, withstand what we do on stage, which we were extremely wild back then. Just really versatile guitars. They sound amazing, they look amazing, and then we formed a relationship with the ESP team. We'll never look back. Yeah, it's amazing.
And one of your first guitar, what I heard, is like 2006. You had a MH1000, right?
That's right. Yes, very good.
Very good. That just made sense for you to start with an LTD signature first?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, that's right. So I was, I fell in love with that guitar, that MH1000. I really liked, how it played. So I'm predominantly a lead and, solo sort of guitarist. So the fast action of that particular guitar kind of matched what I wanted. And so, yeah, I designed my custom based off that basic shape. Yeah, with a few of the extras. So
can you show us your new your E2 signature guitar?
Yes, so this is my JL E2 signature guitar. This guitar definitely does the most work on stage and in the studio. So this is my signature. Extremely robust, very reliable, and honestly, in all honesty, it sounds incredible. So I think I got really lucky with the design of this guitar. And yeah, I dare say I'll probably be using it for many years to come. I've tried a lot of different pickups at this point. There's something about the old school 81s that I just can't let go of. There's aspects of some of the new pickups that are really cool, but overall, like particularly on stage when you just have to pick a pickup, the 81's still my favourite to this day, so still a fan. So with this particular guitar, I'm drop B shooting. So I like to run 62 to 11 at the string gauge. I like the easier bending capacity of the high and curious strings here, because I'm getting older and my fingers can't handle too much tension. But yeah, it feels good for me, and if tar still sounds good, yeah. I've never been a snake bite player myself. Always mainly that sort of shape or Eclipse, but there's something about how it sits which is really fun to move around on stage. Not so good to play on a chair in a studio or something. It sits too low for me, but playing live wise, I really like the snake bite feel. And performance, like the way you can move with it's really cool. I've always mainly played black guitars or naked white, and this is a little bit more expressive, I guess, for me. Yeah, I think the LTDs are really good for being on the road. I feel like you can, they can take quite a beating, which is important. Like when you're on the road, dealing with different temperatures all the time. They're being thrown around. They're workhorses, and they're perfect for that. It doesn't matter if they get, some scratches and dings. Some of my LTDs at home that I've still got now, they've got everything's ripped to pieces on the back from my belt buckles, and I just feel like the perfect guitar for particularly on stage and tour. So yeah, we've got a whole bunch of them. We play them. For me, I play them live, but I'm trying to be careful with them. So yeah, that's kind of my take on the comparison. So I've got this guy. Yeah, like I said, I usually run 62 to 11s, usually my go-to gauge. Sometimes I get into customize a little bit, like maybe a guitar just feels like it's got a little bit less tension than some other ones because of the scales of them or whatever. But yeah, around that, the 62 to 11 sort of that's my area. You know, we've never had any problems. They're really reliable. I've just about hardly ever broken a string on stage, to be honest. I used to snap strings before we teamed up with them. I used to break strings all the time on stage. So for me, there's so many amazing things about the Kemper as opposed to a real amp. First one being reliability. So for us, Parkway Drive, the Kemper, I think we've had one issue on stage since we've been using them, where one cut out, whereas that would happen once or twice a tour. Like with a real amp and cabs, that would happen once or twice. We'd have problems every single tour. So reliability, that's number one, the most important thing, and the Kemper's amazing put up. Number two, just the access to sounds. You can have any sound you want on this little box, and it's really, really, really damn close to the real thing. And matter of fact, like in a live setting, like microphones aren't great. You know, when you're micing cabs and there's really loud drum kits or loud PAs to contend with, at the end of the day, the clean signal getting back to the sound desk, you know, it's arguable it actually sounds better anyway because there's a cleaner signal. So there's that side of things as well, clarity. And then probably the most important thing for me personally, I'm not a guy that cares about doing this on stage with my pedals. I'm not that guy. I'm a guy that wants to connect with the crowd and have a good time. So what that means is I can program my sounds to work with our playback system, and I can have all my sounds that I want to use, and I can play how I want to play. So that means, instead of doing all this, that means, I still love doing the wire. I love doing my wire manually, but the Kemper, it'll do the suivi with the playback, and I can be out front performing and not thinking about, what sound's coming next, and I can connect and have a good time. So three very important features for me.
Perfect. It was really cool.
Yeah.